Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Oh, bam, we're live. You're in the States.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Where are you at?
I'm in Cookville.
Oh, alrighty. Are you Mayhem athlete, Emily?
Yes. Yeah, I am.
Who isn't? I did see a on your Instagram a proven cup, so or a shaker or something, but it was way back in your
Oh,
IG.
that would have been over a year ago. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, way back in your IG. Were you a proven athlete?
Yeah.
And then you switched to Mayhem.
I stopped proven and started doing my own stuff, like personal stuff from my coach, and then going into semis and games, I moved over to Mayhem.
Is it invigorating starting new training programs? You know, like you might be just running and you might just be kind of going through the motions, and then you get a new pair of shoes. You're like, yeah. I mean, even though it doesn't mean anything, it's just like a new pair of shoes, or you know what I mean? All of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take these suckers out for a spin. Is it like that with programming too?
A little bit, I reckon, yeah. Like the first week, definitely I was like, oh, this is great. Like new programming, new workouts, things like that. But it's all pretty much a much of a muchness. Like it's all really the same in a way.
Eventually you're like, yep, these are just shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are just shoes. When did you come to the States?
About a week ago. Just over a week ago.
Your first CrossFit Games?
Yes. Yes, it is.
After only one previous semifinal.
Yeah. So my first one was last year, and then this year's second one, and yeah.
That's rocket ship status. Are you pretty pumped?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Last year, last year you got the experience with so many great athletes, and you were only 21.
Yeah, last year, like being my first semifinal, and I was able to like do it with Tia and Kara and all those top athletes was also was awesome. And like it was all just like an experience. And then this year, it was definitely a little bit different compared to that.
When you go in this year, are you like, I'm going?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah. Emily, say your last name for me.
Rooy.
Rooy.
Yeah.
But people like me want to say Rooy.
Yeah, it's the two O's that get people. It's spelled like or said the same as Roy, but.
And lane number 6, Emily Rooy.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, got it.
That is it.
Perfect. And God, is this pretty dreamy? Is this pretty crazy? Only 40 of you guys go to this event, and it's like you're one of them representing Australia.
It's taken a while to sink in. That's for sure. It's definitely taken a while to sink in, and like with Oceania only having 3 spots as well, like to be in that top 3 was pretty surreal in the moment. Like I couldn't believe it for a very long time, and I think now that I'm finally over here, it started to sink in a little bit, but it's still definitely a pretty crazy thought.
Yeah, it's stacked. Someone might there might be the misconception to say, Tia wasn't there and Cara wasn't there, but that field is stacked.
Oh yeah, there's already still so many games athletes like that have been there before. Like there was, who else was there? Like Kate Van Zyl, Laura Clifton. Like there's still so many strong girls and like also many like up and comers as well. So like the field was strong.
Maddie Sturt, 4-time games athlete. Yeah, looking better and stronger than ever.
Yeah. Oh, she's amazing. I don't know how she just has been doing it for so long and is still so young.
Hey, no one got any breathing room, huh? That was a tense event. Look at you guys. 592, 568, 556, 525, 524, 521. Top 6
it was all
war.
Yeah, the top 6 the whole weekend were just like back and forth. I think I like traveled between first and fourth like for the first 2 days. Actually, no, for every day actually. So
did you show up to the semifinals healthy this year?
Yeah
100%.
Last year not so much. This year I definitely did.
Can you? I heard you tell that story on a podcast you were on about event number 1 last year at the regionals. Could you? Do you mind telling that story again? That's a great story.
Yeah. So what did I do? A few months before that, I'd like hurt my shoulder doing a rope climb, I think it was, and that kind of just brought up the issue. And then when I went and like got it all checked out, they told me that I got it checked out after Torian actually. But they told me it had been dislocating and subluxing and all that fun stuff for a few years, apparently. I'm not sure. But that's what it had been doing. And ring muscle ups were probably like the most aggravating for it, like because it's so dynamic. And yeah, that first event at Torian or at the semifinals last year was scary for me. Like 30 ring muscle ups, I haven't hit that for who knows how long before doing that event. So it was all just quite a scary one. But I was able to make it through. I didn't really have too much issues with the shoulder, but it was, yeah, just like a, what's the word I'm going for? Bit of damage control in that one. And yeah, made it through it.
You literally went into it thinking, willing to accept that you might not finish, that you probably would not finish, but then you won your heat. It's like something happened, in between the starting line and you grabbing the ring, something changed.
I don't know what happened. I think I just like, I don't know if it was the adrenaline, being out on the competition floor for the first time in that like bigger arena and competition. But something happened and I was able to finish it top in the heat, and then top 8 finish, which was not what I was expected. I was saying to my coach before that, like I will be happy if I cop a last place. Like I don't mind as long as I can just get through it without hurting myself more. And then to win the heat was just like a cherry on top there.
Was there a minimum work requirement on that workout?
No minimum work requirement.
So you were even in the headspace of you do one muscle up and something goes wrong, you're gonna tap. You'll chill.
Yeah,
and just
pretty much.
Yeah, crazy, dude. Well, congratulations. That's got to be a crazy learning experience. That anything's possible.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely just shows what the body can do when like put in such a high pressure environment.
You said you originally injured it doing rope climbs. Was it on a descent?
Yeah, on the descent. I think I must have just like grabbed it funny and pulled it. But the injury has been there for a long time. It's just that kind of brought it told me that there was definitely something wrong. It just had taken its time to really show.
What did you call it? Dislocating, and what was the other word you used? Subluxing.
Mm-hmm. Sublux. Yeah.
What is that?
It's like I'm not great at explaining it, but it's like a small dislocation, I guess. Like it's still, there we go. Partial.
Oh, okay, partial. Okay.
So it just it might just pop in and out like slightly, but not fully come out of the joint.
And no pain.
No, I was never experiencing any pain with it, so that's why I had no idea that it was there until I think I'd done something to my rotator cuff tendons, which then brought it to light a little bit more.
Hey, when did you think you were going to go to the games? What was the plan? How does someone? I mean, it must be crazy being in Oceania and being like, okay, there's Cara and Tia. Fuck, we have one spot.
I guess I had like a life plan, like on when I wanted to get there by. Like I wanted to get there by the time I was 25, so that's still another 3 years away. That was my overall goal. And then this year, like my goal, like going in now, like was always like, oh, I'm gonna try and get top 3 no matter what. But with such a strong field, like it definitely wasn't like expected or anything like that. I was like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. But it was, the goal was to make the games by 25, and I exceeded that. So I don't think I could really be happier.
I mean, even if you, the thing is even if you beat Cara and Tia, it doesn't change anything. There's still only 3 places.
Yeah.
And really they're going. So even if you take first, they're going to be in second and third. Like you, And all the girls know that in that region, huh? That's just like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, Tia and like they're both just such like strong athletes. Tia especially obviously being like the 6-time fittest woman on earth, like having her in your field, you never want to count yourself out, but you just know that it's going to be the toughest battle ever if she's there.
And the truth is too, I guess, is you also know that Jamie Simmons could probably qualify anywhere in the world too.
Oh, absolutely. She did amazing. And like she came back off injury as well. So she is just blows my mind every time when I see her compete.
Yeah, man, you really earned it. You really did it. Congratulations. What a trip. Tell me, how did this happen, the CrossFit passion for you?
So I used to be a swimmer, or like I did ocean swimming and surf life saving and things like that. So I was doing that for a very long time before I started CrossFit. And at my pool, we had like a little CrossFit box just at the back of it, tiny little one, not many members, but I was kind of reaching the end of my whole swimming thing. I was getting sick of it, a bit burnt out, sick of the 4:30, 5 o'clock wake ups, then having to go to school. It was just a lot of, it was just a very, very exhausting. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do one more season of swimming, stop that. I noticed like the little CrossFit box at the back of my swimming pool. I was like, you know what, I'm going to give that a go. And I stopped swimming at 17, started CrossFit at about 18. And
Holy shit.
Haven't looked back.
You haven't been doing it very long.
Bit over 4 years.
Hey, I mean, that's a long time relative to how young you are, but there's just so much to learn.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Why would you go back there and want to mess with CrossFit? Was there like a cute boy back there, or were there some girls you wanted to hang out with, or like why would you do that?
I don't know. It just looked fun. Like, because swimming is so repetitive, like you're doing the same thing over and over and over, swimming up and down the pool, following a black line. I was just looking for some more like variability to my training. And just what they were doing looked cool. They were throwing barbells around. They were doing handstands, doing all the crazy pull-ups and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I would like to see how that goes. And yeah.
Do you remember the first time you were doing CrossFit and you went to the pain cave? You went somewhere where you're like, ooh, this is new. I'm not sure. Am I going to throw up? What's going on here?
I do. It was my first time doing Cindy. I completely ripped the palms of my hands off. Like all of my calluses on my hands are gone. Well, I didn't really have many calluses then, but all the skin on my hands were gone. I think I only did like 14 rounds as well. So compared to now, not many rounds, not many pull-ups. And I was hurting. My legs were sore for days. And yeah, I don't know what made me go back after that, but something did. And yeah.
Was that early on?
Yeah, that was maybe a month or so in.
How about the first time you did CrossFit? Did you have a pull-up going into it, or did you even have to learn pull-ups?
I could do a couple strict pull-ups.
You could.
But I didn't understand the kipping for a little bit, so I had to. My coach made me do like you're not learning how to do kipping pull-ups until you can do at least 5 strict pull-ups. So that was my goal for a while. Get 5, and then I was able to learn how to do the kipping.
Yeah, great coach. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Oh, back in the day, I don't even think they coach anymore, to be honest. Jack Stocker. So he doesn't coach anymore. He was my first ever coach at Strand CrossFit. I was there for a couple of years before I moved over to CrossFit Townsville.
That gym in the back of the pool, was it actually a CrossFit affiliate, or it was just it was?
Yeah, it was.
Was it a public pool area? Describe who owned the pool?
So yeah, the pool was owned, like it was a public pool that you have to pay to get into kind of thing. There was an entrance, one end for the pool, entrance the other end for the CrossFit gym, and they all kind of like work together. Like if we want to do a swim WOD, we'd speak to the owners of the pool, and vice versa. If they needed the back area for something, we'd give it to them. But yeah, it was all affiliated. It was just a very small space, very, very small amount of members. Yeah.
Have you ever been to a CrossFit gym besides that one that has a pool?
Yeah. So that was Strand CrossFit. That was my first one. I'm now at CrossFit Townsville, which is
they also have a pool?
No, No.
Oh, have you ever been to one that has a pool besides that
No.
one?
Actually, no. Sorry, no, I haven't.
Yeah, crazy. I've never been to one that has a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, it was pretty cool. Like that was like while it was still such a small little box, that was probably one of the good things about it. Like if we wanted to do a swim workout, the coaches would talk to each other, and yeah.
Do swimmers ever do that? Does swimming have a pain cave? Do swimmers go to a place, the same place CrossFitters go? Did I break up? Did I freeze? Can you hear me, Emily? Do you see her, Caleb?
I would say so. In a way, like yeah, you're frozen.
Do you see her, Caleb? Okay. Can you hear me now, Emily?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. So do swimmers go to that dark place? You were familiar with it?
Yeah, definitely. Like swimming compared to CrossFit is very different. Like doing sets on a time base, you're getting very, very minimal rest, and you're doing it for 20 odd minutes or something like that. Like you got to go 100 meters, you'll get 5 seconds rest, and you have to do it again and again and again at a pretty fast pace. And by like halfway, at least 3/4 of the way, you are burning your shoulders, your lats, everything. Especially now when I don't swim as often, the pain definitely sets in a little bit quicker. It's like you don't get to breathe as much because your head's always underwater, and it's a different kind of pain, I reckon.
But I guess it makes you mentally tough because some part of you, when you're in the water, like you may not want to go doing CrossFit because it hurts or you can't breathe. But the water, there's another thing, you could drown. So that makes you tough because you still have to go. You have to take the risk, right?
Yeah.
Chase Ingram, mid-distance swimming races get dark. What's mid-distance?
Mid-distance.
Like how far? Like he's saying like is that like a 400-meter swim, or what's a mid? He's saying that there's some that it's like, ooh, this is not good. This hurts.
I'd say, yeah, like a mid-distance would be like your 400 to 800-meter swim. Like for myself, when I was swimming, I was doing like long swims, like ocean swimming, 4 kilometers, things like that. Those ones you just settle into a pace, and it's only by the very last little bit that it starts to get hard because you're trying to go a little bit faster to finish it. The mid-distance ones are probably definitely the hurtier, the more painful ones, because you're trying to go fast the whole way because it's still such a short amount of time. But it's long enough for everything to just be burning. You can't breathe, and yeah.
You're looking forward to the swim this year?
Yeah, I am. I'm hoping something comes up.
And that would be is that even an event that you would dare strike out and try to take a win on?
I'm gonna try. That's for sure. I'm never gonna I won't count myself out on it, but I still know there's like a lot of other strong swimmers in the field as well. So everyone's like going to put up a fight, but I'd like to think I'd be able to push that top spot in whatever swim event it is, and just see how I go.
What do your parents think about you? Your how many years did you swim?
I'd say about 10 years.
What do your parents think? 10 years in swimming and then shift over to CrossFit. Do you get pressure? No, don't do it. Stay in swimming. You put in
not
so
really.
much
So
work.
my mum was a swimmer as well. So I did a lot of my training with her throughout the years, like through my schooling years and stuff like that. Excuse me. But she was happy. Like she's like, as long as you find something that you love, and if you're gonna put all your effort into it and everything like that, she is happy. Like as long as I'm trying my best, I'm doing what I can, and I'm staying fit and healthy, then she doesn't mind. Same with my dad. He's all for it. He loves the whole CrossFit thing. He doesn't do it, but he loves to get involved, and yeah, they just love it.
He's a huge fan.
Yeah, they both are. Mum's actually a very huge fan of your podcast as well. So when I told her about this, she was over the moon.
Oh, awesome. Tell her I said hi. What's your mom's name?
Kylie.
Kylie. Hi, Kylie. Hey, that makes me happy. Hey, why do you think you gravitate to CrossFit over swimming? And do you think that the same burnout, do you look out? I shouldn't say, you didn't use the word burnout, but do you look out for the same reason that you switch swimming? Do you pay attention to that? Hey, is that going to come for CrossFit too? Like, am I 2 or 3 years away from maybe wanting to switch out of CrossFit?
I don't know. I don't really want to think about that really too much, I guess. Like the swimming thing just kind of came around. I was like, oh, I'm kind of sick of this. I want to try something new. If it doesn't work, I'll come back to swimming. Like it wasn't something where I like hated it. I never wanted to do it again kind of thing. So it was just lucky that I was able to find CrossFit and find something new. But with CrossFit, like, because it's so varied, you're always doing something new. I feel like you're able to last that little bit longer just because it is always being varied. But again, like the toll it takes on your body is also a lot higher. Like the impact is a lot higher than swimming. So like both of them like will have their like reasons for like burnout and exhaustion and things like that, which I guess you do have to be wary of, but it's not something I think about or anything like that until it kind of comes around.
I don't know when it was, but a couple of years ago, I think we had Haley on, and she was basically saying that Rich doesn't go to the pain cave, and like you never see him fall down after a workout anymore. And then we had Rich on, and he's like, "Yeah, those I'm not, you know, I'm not doing that so much anymore." And that it must get even just for the hobbyist CrossFitters like myself, the people who are just kind of like, you know, faking it. It's a scary spot. Like when you hear someone like Fraser say, "Hey, he sells his soul every day on the assault bike," like that.
Yeah,
that shit is fucking scary. That's just like, oh, I don't know. Scary is the right word. What is the right word for that? There's just a lot of pushback. You get on and you're like, say it again.
Intimidating.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, even if you say you're going to give it your all after the workout, like someone like me might be like, maybe I only gave it 89%. You know, like there's a spot where I'm like, oh, I don't like the way this feels.
Yeah.
So that's when I think of burnout for CrossFitters, that's what I think, or mental fortitude. I always think, how the fuck do they do this every single day? Do you know how you do it?
Yeah, it's definitely just I guess it's not, what's the word I'm going for? Discipline, I think it is. Like just knowing where I want to, like what I want to achieve and where I want to go with the sport is kind of just what keeps me there every day, pushing hard. But I guess like with what you said about Matt and Rich, like being different, like Matt sells his soul every day, Rich doesn't.
Maybe Rich did back in the day. These were at different times, by the way. Rich was talking about like in his current iteration as a, you know, 10-time CrossFit Games athlete, and I'm comparing him to you know, Matt in his second year. So let that be said before someone texts me and fucking choose me a new one.
Yeah, like either way, like whenever it was said, I guess there's like points where you definitely do have to just go that extra little bit and sell your soul, right? But that's not something I don't think you need to do every single day, because otherwise you will just burn out and just not want to train anymore. So yeah, there's definitely times where you should sell your soul. There's definitely times where you should just take it back a notch, and like that even balance, I think, is good. Keeps you wanting more a little bit.
Is there a story you tell yourself to get up and go? Like, I remember that teacher said to me in the 3rd grade, "I'll never amount to anything," or "Fuck that girl who said that she'll be better than me someday. I'm not going to let her catch me." Or I would think that you need some sort of chip on your shoulder, or some sort of narrative or motivation, or I'll show them, or I'm going to do this 5 years.
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know if I should say it on here. It's a funny one, but stop it. I'll say it. Baden Brown last year said to my coach, I posted an Instagram post, saying to my friend who was moving to America, I was like, "Have fun in America. I'll see you next year. If you know, like winky face, about the games." And he saw that and said to my coach, like, "Oh, does Emily think she's going to make the games next year? This is what I've been told." So I was like, "Oh, that's it's a little bit funny." My coach told me that one. I was like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, here we are.
Yeah, that's great. And so you keep that.
Yeah.
You hear that and you keep that. And it's so like maybe one day when you're like, I've done enough workouts today, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to go in tonight and talk to Baden, my little Baden story.
Yeah, that's the one. Best of luck in America. I'll see you next year in August.
Wow, Caleb, impressive. Holy shit, dude. Wow. This is like a real podcast, the way how fast he pulled that up. It's crazy. Yeah, I think people need those. There has to be some I think there has to be a story or some motivation. It can't just be just for nothing, right?
Yeah. So that definitely added a little bit of fuel to the fire. Like I never like take anything like that. Like with I just took it with a grain of salt. I was like, oh, she's not gonna make it. She's only been doing it for so long, and it just added a little bit of fuel to the fire, and it was good.
Yeah. There's a Instagram picture of you, video of you standing next to a swimming hole, and it looks like you're about to go swimming, and then the camera pans over and there's an alligator or a crocodile in the water. Is that real? And
No,
then the next
fake.
Oh, it is fake. That's not a real alligator or crocodile?
Yeah.
Oh, where is that?
Yeah, that's Rich Training Senior's pond.
He has a fake crocodile or alligator out there?
Yeah, fake alligator head, yeah.
Oh shit. Hey, do they have alligators or crocodiles in Cookeville, or no? Too far away from the Gulf?
No, I think I asked that question to someone yesterday, if there were any, but no, they said there's none in Tennessee, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. I was like, she's crazy.
Yeah, just a fake floating one. No, just a fake floating one.
Your semifinals announcement. When you finish the workout, do you know that you made it, or is it a stressful announcement?
It was stressful. So going into the last event, I was second. And like all I knew was kind of like I had to stay close to Caitlin Van Zyl, and that was pretty much it. Just stay close to Caitlin Van Zyl and you'll be sweet. I shat the bed in that workout. It was my worst finish. Thankfully, like she was only a place in front of me, so I was like 99% sure that I'd kept the at least third place position, but there was still that little thought in my head like I've just stuffed this up. Like my could have been my only chance to make it, and I've just messed it up. So I was sitting at the finish line, felt like an eternity. Just like that little thought in my head, like what if you just lost your chance? So there was a little bit going through my head like that, but I was for the most part pretty sure. But yeah, there was just that little thought in my head that what if I didn't?
11th place.
Yeah, so that one was 11th place was my worst finish.
No shit, you got your worst finish on the last workout.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
had nothing left. I was just all the nervous energy had been like running through my body. I was exhausted. I had nothing left to give.
So you were in the final heat?
Yeah.
And did you take last in the final heat?
I think I did, yeah.
Holy shit, that is stressful. What happened? Where was the tough part? Was it, how tall are you?
5'9".
Okay, so you could, when you put your arms around the sandbag, you could touch your hands?
Yeah.
Where was the where did you feel yourself coming apart? Toes to bar? Or?
I think it was probably the Echo bike. I thought the toe to bar were going to be like my like the harder part, but I just didn't have anything to give on the Echo bike. I just slower than I wanted to be. I started out, I was already the last off the bike off the first round. Yeah, I just didn't have the power that I wanted.
Emily, when you before you start that workout, do you know that? Like, can you look into your fuel tank and be like, okay, this is a 4.5 minute workout and I only have 82 seconds of fuel? Is there any, like, you do assessments like that?
No, I probably don't think about it like that. I was like, it's only a 4.5 minute workout is probably what was in my head. Like, you just have to hold on for 4 minutes. Like, that was probably what was going through my head more than anything than the energy thing. But yeah, I just didn't have enough for 4.5 minutes.
And can you do anything? But do you know that before the workout that you're not? I guess what I'm asking, and can you do anything? Can you eat something? Can you drink a little pre-workout? Could you can you do anything? Is there anything you do to yourself? Yeah, let's start there. Is there anything you eat knowing that's the last workout of the day? before you go out there?
I don't know. No, I've never really thought about that. I just eat what I get told to eat before the workouts. Like my dietitian will just say, make sure you eat this and this before you work out, like an hour before. Have some lollies right beforehand. I probably don't have anything like specific. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I just used all my energy, like nervous energy, because I was sitting in second going to that last workout. Like I was just freaking out. And I think doing that had like used up all my energy without realizing. And then as soon as I went to go, I was like, I have nothing.
Oh, so you realize it when you're out there. That must be a trip.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be a trip. Almost like
it wasn't
like
great.
you're in quicksand.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know if my head just wasn't in the right place when I went out there, like just because I was overthinking everything. Obviously, being in second, it was stressful, just very stressful. So yeah, I don't know. My head just wasn't in the right place going into it, I guess. Which is definitely something I have to work on, just my mental game. But that I think played a role there.
Barry McCockner, Jeremy wants to know if Emily is single. Emily, do you have a mate? I think, what do they call it in your country? No, not a mate. A mate's just anyone in your country. Do you have a significant other? Do you have anyone that you like to kiss? Do you have a kiss?
I don't.
No. She is single. So 10 years of swimming and then you get into CrossFit. Do you have a sudden body composition shift, like a pretty quick one?
I don't know.
Like swimmers don't have butts, do they?
Sorry?
What?
Sorry?
Swimmers don't have butts, do they? They're like runners. Like you guys just swim your asses off, right?
We have no legs. Yeah, no legs, no butts, nothing on the lower half really. I've always had like quite large shoulders. But yeah, CrossFit probably changed, like composition wise, like changed my like lower half a lot more. Just because I started to finally use my legs, do some squatting, which is not something you see a swimmer do too often.
And did your body? How did your body react? Did it react quickly and appropriately, or was it after 10 years of swimming? Was it a tough transition?
I actually think it was okay. Like I can't remember too much. Excuse me. But I think like still with swimming, I was doing some strength training, so there was still a little bit there. The volume just increased, and I think just because I've been so used to high volume training, even if it was a different muscle group, I think it all still like came together pretty well, and like I think I transitioned pretty well regarding that.
You don't remember like the first time you were working out, doing like squats or lunges, and then after the workout done, you're like, holy shit. Like I can feel my ass right now. Like when I started CrossFit, I remember there were two workouts in particular. I was like, holy fuck. Like I actually have, my quads are fucking feel like they're going to explode. Like every step I could feel them. And then I remember the first time I felt my butt, I'm like, whoa. Say it again.
That was probably that Cindy workout that I spoke about earlier as well. Like my first like hardcore workout, I definitely could feel my legs after that. And it was only, I don't know, 200 squats, maybe not too many really, like if you think about it nowadays, like 200 squats in a workout isn't too bad, just air squats. So yeah, I definitely felt it in that one.
I think another one that people feel probably who've never done a pull-up too, you probably didn't notice this one as much being a swimmer, but is lats. Like if you never had lats before and then you get into CrossFit, all of a sudden you're like a fucking flying squirrel.
Yeah, I think, the whole swimming thing helped with the pull-ups, like not having the DOMs there. All the DOMs were focused on my legs, and I was just in pain for a week. Like walking downstairs, trying to sit on the toilet, I was just like holding on to the walls while trying to do anything leg related. It wasn't fun. I don't miss those days.
What's DOMs again? Delayed
onset muscle soreness.
Yeah. That shit's great, isn't it? Do you like that?
So great.
Yeah. I mean, because then you know you did. Are you joking? Because then you know you did something. Aren't DOMs kind of fun? Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they're not so bad that they inhibit you from walking.
Right. Like going downstairs and each step is like, oh shit, I better hold the railing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talked about in one of the podcasts that you were doing a yoke carry and you had some DOMs that were unique to you, I think. Does that sound right? You did a yoke carry in some workout and
know.
you'd been doing CrossFit for like 2 years and all of a sudden you had some soreness and you're like, holy shit, how do I still have soreness in muscles that I've never felt soreness in before? I thought I had done everything. Do you remember that? This was a
I
podcast
don't,
from over a
actually.
year ago. Okay. You like the yoke? You like the strongman stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
I love a little bit of strongman.
And do you have access to all that stuff in Australia where you train?
We do now. We got a yoke a couple weeks before the semi-finals. And have we gotten anything else? No, I think the yoke. We got 2 yokes just before the semi-finals, and then they decided not to put them in. So I was a little bit sad about that. But that picture there is the first time I've ever used a yoke.
At the semifinals 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Whenever I see you guys do those, it's like I have this stress for you guys. The whole thing, I've never used a yoke, but I'm assuming the whole thing is you do not want one of those legs to touch the ground even for a second, right?
No, because then you'll just start wobbling all over the place. You'll have to put it down, reset, and then it's just a big waste of time. So you have to set the height of the thing perfectly. So like, obviously, as the workout goes along, you're going to compress a little bit. So if those plates are only just off the ground, you're going to hit it. You're not going to be able to walk properly with it, and it's just going to be a mess.
So what's the deal? If it's too high, it wobbles too quickly, and if it's too low, it hits the ground?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, if it's too high, it'll start to like sway either way. Too low, it'll hit the ground. So yeah, you have to find that like happy medium with the height.
I really don't enjoy watching that event. Yoke carry.
That one, I think, has been my favorite event ever in the semifinals.
How come?
I don't know. It was just, I think, like a bunch of my strengths in that workout. I love strongman, and handstand push-ups were great as well. So I think that one was, and it went really well. I came third behind Tia and Cara, so I don't think I could really complain about that.
No shit. You took third behind them.
Yeah.
Hey, see that? Congratulations on that. See how high that yoke is off the ground? Is that where it's supposed to be? Like that? Or is that too high off the ground? Can you see that? It probably looks like it's like...
I think it's like...
4 inches. Looks like it's like that high. That's how high it is supposed to be off the ground? Good job,
I think
Caleb.
It's all right. Yeah.
Like,
I think it's okay.
Yeah, all that shit would stress me out.
It looks all right to me.
Who's coming to Madison with you?
So I've got my current coach now, Daniel Strickland. He'll be coming over the week of the games. And I've also got my manager, Patrick Orr, and photographer Ben Watson as well. And they're like, I'm very good friends with all of them, so it'll be good having the support there.
You have a manager already? Is that like an agent?
Yeah.
And what's he do? He's just looking out for ways to make you money?
I guess a little bit, and just making he just makes sure on the socials I'm doing all my stuff right. And yeah, things like that.
Did you have a Instagram account that got hacked?
Yeah, at the start of last year.
How does that happen? Tell me. So you wake up one morning, you open your Instagram, and you're like, oh, this doesn't look right, or you can't get in, or what's the deal?
I clicked on a link, and I think they must have been able to, I don't know exactly how it worked. My friend got hacked, who sent me a link saying, go check out these photos I took of you. Thought it was legit because they do take photos.
Oh.
And yeah, just a dumb mistake.
And then you lost your account.
Yeah.
And there's no way, like, you write Instagram back and they're like, fuck you, eat a dick. Nothing.
I didn't bother trying to get it back. I just I'll cop that. That was my dumb mistake. So I just created a new account.
Emily, I'm looking at your account now, and is it what do you do about the name? How do you get your name back? Or did you have it under a different name?
Oh, I just ended up reporting the other account, and they got deleted because they still kept posting stuff. If you pick the number that's in this, you'll win $5,000, and they kept posting that. So people were reporting it, and I was reporting it, and it got deleted.
No shit. Crazy.
Yeah, so I was able to keep my name, and they changed my username actually as well. So like I couldn't log in to anything, like change my username and password.
God, that shit is so fucking annoying. Can you imagine that being your life, hacking into other people's shit? What a shitty life.
I don't know why they do that and why they don't have anything better to do, but it's whatever. I've learnt my lesson. Don't click on random links.
Hey, I would. Those people should have to like bear crawl 1,000 miles. They can do. They can
100%.
take as long as they want to do it. There's a cell, and you're either bear crawling or you're in your cell eating.
Yeah,
and you have to do 1,000 miles. That may take you 6 months or 2 years, but you're going to come out stronger. You're going to have a lot of time to think.
I 100% agree.
Douchebags. So Jake Chapman doesn't have to ask, can she say, oh my goodness. Miss Emily, could you say, I don't think it's get on the chopper. I think it's get to the chopper.
The Arnold Schwartz, I don't even know how to say his last name. Saying.
Could you say that? Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Wow. That might be the best one I've heard. Look at Rosie.
That's all right.
My business Facebook account actually got hacked last week. No, it's not excessive. No, it's not excessive, Kenneth. 1,000 miles is not a little excessive. Excessive is hacking
He's
my
the one
shit.
that does it.
Yeah. I'd love to find someone at Instagram actually banned my account. I'd like to find out who that is and make them run 5,000 miles. Bear crawl 5,000 miles. Asshole.
Absolutely.
It sucks to think that there's some fucking kid over there who's just like, you know what? I don't like what that guy's posting. I'm pulling his shit down. It is like that.
Yeah, or they just find random accounts and like see if they're vulnerable.
Do you ever, I never report anyone's account for anything. If I see something I don't like, I just fucking keep going my way.
Yeah.
You ever report anyone?
At the time,
you ever report anyone's accounts?
Hey.
You ever report anyone's accounts?
Only ones that are being hacked as
yeah,
well. Like it's happened to a few mates as well.
So Daniel will be there. He's your coach. Patrick, your agent, and Ben Watson, the photographer. What about mom and dad?
They were looking at coming over, but they, just because it's such an expensive trip, they wanted to help me out a little bit more financially than spending all their money to come watch.
Yeah.
So they've helped me out with a little bit on the money side, which I'm very grateful for. So yeah, I don't think I'd be here this early, at least even without them. And then just the whole trip in general, they've been very helpful with.
Yeah, athletes need that.
Yeah.
And you've only been in the sport such a short time also, so it's like and you've climbed to the top so quickly that it's like, yeah, you need time for like those types of things to catch up. Are you?
So I don't have like.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't have like the massive following base and things like that, or like what's it called? Like I've got sponsors who also like help me out with some money side of things as well, but like a lot of the athletes there are trained full time, and they've got like a constant income, which is something that I don't have yet. So it's definitely it's nice to know, like it's nice to have the help like from my family and stuff like that.
I wonder how stressed out your mom and dad are going to be watching this on YouTube or wherever it is, or on TV. God, that would be fucking stressful to watch your kid do this.
Yep. Saw my mum cry for the first time when she came to, not for the first time, but for the first time in a long time when she came to my semi-finals. So I can't imagine what she'll be like for the games.
She cried during the week or at the end when you made it?
Like when I made it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. You looked over and you saw her in the stands crying?
No, she came down to the front because they had to go catch a flight. They're like, we have to go, but well done. And yeah, they were very, very happy.
You like to make your parents proud?
Yeah, they've done a lot for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Over the years.
Do you feel that pressure for them? Do you feel that pressure like sometimes, like, hey, I know my mom and dad work extra hard and they give me money and they're behind me, and that puts a little added like needed pressure to perform?
A little bit, but they always like just say like, as long as you do your best, then they're happy. Like they don't care if I come 40th. Like as long as I did my best, tried my hardest, they don't mind at all. They're just happy that I was there. And yeah.
How far are you from Mayhem now? You're in your hotel?
5-minute drive.
And are there a lot of athletes there already?
Yeah, there's a few there. Like obviously like the Mayhem athletes that live here, like the I've been training a bit with Paige Powers and Bailey Rail, and Victoria Campos. I've been training with them for a little bit now, like for the past week or so, which has been really cool. And then there's like a lot of like the other guys there as well, like Luke Parker's there, Sam Cornier, who else is there? Like Royce and their team is here as well. The Torian Mayhem team, they're here. There's a lot of people.
When you train with people like Victoria and Paige and Bailey, do you call them ahead of time or DM them ahead of time and say, hey, I'm coming to town? Or like, is it weird? I'm wondering how it is, especially for like Bailey and Paige, because they probably have their whole thing already like going, right? They're regular training partners.
They definitely like they train together a lot. And I kind of just like slid myself in there. They asked me, like I was there, I hadn't spoken to them before I'd gotten to the gym, but we were both getting ready for the same workout. And they're like, oh, do you want to join in? And we're just kind of being like jumping in and workouts.
They do say that.
Really cool.
They do say that. They're nice like that.
Yeah.
Wow,
definitely.
Is there an orientation when you get there? How does Mayhem onboard people like that? Like, so you're doing their program, you're a games athlete. Do you reach out to them and say, can I come out? Or do they reach out to you? Are they like, hey, Emily,
yeah,
you made it to the game?
I reached out to them about coming over early and training, and they were all for it. Like, they were super helpful. And yeah, they were like, yep, come on over. And once I got there, they like explained the whole thing, like how it works to me. And yeah, it's just been really good. They've been super welcoming. And everything there.
All easy. Like, hey, you can come out work from here. The gym's open between this time and this time. Make yourself at home.
Very easy.
And did you see the little coffee shop there?
Yeah, it's a cool little coffee shop.
Yeah, if I ever go, that's the reason why I want to go to Mayhem. I want to see that little coffee shop there. And do you hang out in there?
Coffee shop. I haven't yet. I don't drink coffee myself, so I don't actually go in there at all.
Do you do caffeine?
Buy like food.
No. You don't do any caffeine?
No.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks. I don't know. I don't know if it's something like, sorry?
No caffeine?
No, I don't have pre-workout or anything. I don't know.
Do you know any other athletes who don't do caffeine?
I mean, it's not something I ask, I guess, but whenever, like, if someone says, oh, do you want to go for a coffee? It's like, oh, I don't drink coffee. They're always very shocked. So most people, I think, still drink it. Yeah.
And people who don't drink coffee still usually have some sort of caffeine addiction, right? Like my buddy Andrew, my buddy Andrew wakes up and has 2 pre-workouts right when he wakes up in the morning. Like, as his pick-me-up.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Wow. Why don't you? You just never have, or do you have some sort of issue with caffeine, like where you're like against it morally or ethically, or I don't know, you don't think it's healthy?
Well, I don't like the taste of coffee. So there's that. So that cuts out coffee completely.
Yep.
And just like pre-workouts, I never really enjoyed drinking them. They didn't taste very good. And they always just make me like very shaky and anxious. So I didn't think there was any point in me trying it. And I've been able to get through so far. So
Eric Weiss says, I heard Andrew Hiller snorts coffee, and then Andrew doesn't miss a second and says, careful, hombre. Ooh. You know, hombre is Spanish for man, but it when you use it, it elevates the nuance there in the United States is it elevates the tension. Wow. Yeah, coffee is a acquired taste of. It's weird. I think coffee's weird too, but I just like having warm drinks, and I'm addicted to caffeine.
Yeah. It's easy to get addicted to caffeine. My mum and dad have many cups a day. A lot of people I know have multiple before 12 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the day.
When will you head over, Emily? When will you head over to Madison?
30th of July, so in a week.
And do you fly there by yourself, or do you go with some of the Mayhem people?
So I think there's a couple people on my flight. I know Paige Powers is on the same flight as myself, and I think there might be a couple others as well. And I'll be meeting people in Chicago when I get there to drive to Madison.
Isn't I thought that you guys had a in your orientations on the morning of the 31st. So you get there on the 30th, and then the next morning it's straight to work.
Yeah, the Monday morning. Yeah, we've got our rego and stuff, 8 till 11.
Awesome. Hey, great meeting you. I'm excited for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, you're amazing. What a cool experience. I'm glad I'm gonna have a front row seat and get to see you in your first year there at the CrossFit Games, battling it out with the fittest people on the planet. It's gonna be cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very excited.
All right, dear. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, too easy. Thanks so much.
And thanks for doing this. Yep. All right. Ciao.
Yeah, too easy. Bye.
Bye. Too easy. That means that was too, like, I enjoyed that. Thanks for making that easy. She said too easy twice. Too easy. That's got to be a compliment. Yeah, Sevy, too easy. I knew this girl, that was her nickname in high school. I didn't. Fee Saghafi coming up. What is this? How come every time I say dear? Yeah, dear. What I don't know how to do it. Dear. She's a little kid, dear. Stop trying to make chow happen. I could do chow. Did I do chow? Did I say chow?
You didn't do chow this time.
I do chow now and again. Tweezy, she meant you need to do your eyebrows. Tweezy. Me so easy. Yeah. That may have been the best female or male get to the chopper.
Pretty good so far.
Oh, Fee Saghafi's coming on in 7 minutes.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I guess I could tell her to come. Oh, and Matt Souza's on his way to my house. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. Lindsay Mercado. Lindsay Mercado. Mercado. Rhymes with avocado. Lindsay, I finally caught a live one, behind the scenes fun. Holy shit. Thank you.
Caught a live one.
Lindsay, I'm going to use that money to put gas in my rental car when I drive home from Madison to Chicago. I think I have to return the car full of gas or something.
Just above a 3/4 tank, right?
Yes. Thank you, Caleb. Yeah. Back in the day when I was a baller, I just always returned it however I wanted. They're like, it'll be $11.25 per gallon if you return it. Fuck off. Don't talk to me.
Charge it to the card.
Yeah, just take this shit. Sir, you vomited in the car. Yeah, clean that shit up. Tank Reeve, Sevan, you need a Vindicate to make a dump truck hottie shirt. I'm so glad you like that. I think it's so funny. Dump truck hotties. I do remember the first time I felt my butt after doing a CrossFit workout, and like I was walking and it was like jiggling and shit. I was like, wow, I have an ass back there. Do you remember that? Can you remember that?
Man, I don't know. I don't think so.
I remember the first time I saw like quad separation in my quads, that my legs just didn't look like poles. I was like, wow.
Oh, yeah. I kind of remember that too.
It's like, holy shit. Wow. I'm on the juice. All juiced up. I thought you were big time. You were driving yourself. Have I think I'm driving. If Andrew will drive, I'll probably let him drive.
I was gonna say, isn't Hiller gonna drive you?
I have the rental car. I suspect that Hiller's not a very good driver.
Why is that?
I just suspect that he'll be a little like a robotic. Like I flow. I'm a soul driver. Like I just change. I picture Andrew Hiller driving like segmented. He turns on his blinker. He shifts. He switches lanes. He turns off his blinker. Like me, I flip it on. Check the mirrors. I cruise over. I don't mind switching 2 or 3 lanes at a time if I have to. I just see him being very segmented. You know what I mean? He doesn't flow.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
He's not. Oh, I love driving. That doesn't answer the question. That doesn't answer the question.
I used to have to teach people how to drive in Jordan when I was deployed, and some people were just terrible. Just like it was like segmented, but it was just aggressive segments. Like slam on the brakes, put on the blinker, swerve over to the other lane, swerve back over, flick the blinker, accelerate aggressively. Like anytime there was a speed bump, slow down right before it, accelerate over it, accelerate through it. Like it was insane.
Driving's not like you're doing anything. It's a Venn diagram. Everything's always crossing into everything else. Like you're describing like this person who like thinks they either have to be gassing or braking.
Right.
You're like, dude, that's not how driving works. Driving's about like looking down the road.
It's a flow.
Yeah, it's a flow. Oh, here. I will wait for you to let me know my skill at the wheel. I should come with a clipboard and like a driving assessment.
Just make sure that you have like a brake on your side of the car too.
Sevan, I just had my blood work done from California Hormones. Oh, that's awesome. How are your chromosomes? Are you a man? Can they can they tell your chromosomes from your blood work? They can't, right? Your chromosomes are everywhere.
I guess, yeah, you could if you have the right.
Hey, Hiller, I'm having some camera issues.
What kind of camera issues?
I don't even know if I have time to get into it because Fee's coming on in 2 minutes. I don't even know if I should try to explain this. This is probably horrible for the viewership if I talk about my camera.
Oh,
I'm real. What? Say it again.
He wants to know.
Oh, okay. So it's been a while since I shot, but normally what I do is I shoot in manual focus mode, and then there's a button on the back, like an AF button, and I push that button, and then it spot focuses really quick, right? And then if I hold that button down, it stays in tracking mode, right? So let's say someone's running across the field and I have it manual focus. I get that spot on them, and I hit the autofocus button on the back, and that square will lock onto them and track them. That's how I used to do it. Or if I'm doing an interview with someone, with the 24 mil and I'm right in front of them, it's on manual focus, and I hit the spot instead of manually focusing. I just hit the button, and it turns on the autofocus for a second, locks them in. And for some reason on the A7R4, it won't let me get into that mode. That's the DMF mode, right? Anyway, I started looking at it this morning, and I started stressing myself out before the it's not something I should be fucking with at 6 a.m. I have the I'm going to use the A7 S3, Greg, on to shoot slow-mo. I'll have 2 cameras like I always do. And I'll shoot 4K 120 with that. But I'm just talking, but I still need the because I need 2 cameras. Not sure why you're using the A7R4. Gee, I knew I shouldn't have asked.
Fine.
Yeah. What do you think I should do? I also noticed that the A6600 also shoots 4K 120. Does it shoot 4K 120? No, I'm not switching to Canon. Oh, great. Here come the solutions. Why are you shooting with that camera? You should throw it at the wall. Golf Foxtrot Yankee. I have teenage drivers. The Arizona driver's test. They are not allowed to fail anyone. Everyone passes. No shit. That can't be true.
I failed mine first time.
In what state?
Nebraska.
I was getting on the freeway the other day. I can't remember ever seeing this in my fucking 45 years of driving. And the guy stopped on the on-ramp because he couldn't merge onto the freeway. So imagine there's 6 of us in a line accelerating to get on the freeway, and then this dude slams on his brakes and stops. Dude, I slam on my brakes and I see the guy behind me slam on his brakes, and then all I hear is horns honking.
Oh, that's horrible. That's a nightmare.
Yeah. Peace.
I'm in.
You're in. Hi.
Good morning, you guys.
You made it. That was easy.
Can you rotate your phone, Fee?
Oh, horizontal?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yay.
There you go. I'm using my tripod, so that's why I'm adjusting. There you go.
I wish I could see your tripod.
It's called, what's it called? It's called Tentacle, because it looks like a little octopus.
Oh, yeah.
And it moves all over the place. It's actually really cool. I saw it on an ad, and I immediately got 2. So it was a BOGO sale.
When you say you immediately,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there it is.
Hey, did you see it on an ad on Instagram?
I did.
Oh man,
they got me real good.
Yeah,
I wrote that off.
Sucker for the shit on Instagram, but they made it so hard for me to buy, so that I kind of slip out.
It's funny. It's like when I wake up, usually I check my phone first thing.
Yeah, me
and
too.
As I'm like scrolling through Instagram at like 6:30 in the morning, I see this ad and I'm like, oh, I need one, and I also would love 2 because buy one get one free. And sure enough, after, my fiance is like, you got 2. Why do you need 2? You got a million tripods. And I was like, yeah, but eventually those break, and at some point I'm probably going to need these anyway. So yeah, so I just got 2.
Hey, Feet, some people say you shouldn't look at your phone first thing in the morning, but I like to do that too. I like to wake up and I like to open a window or open the front door, let the dog run out, and then I like to get my phone and check to see what I missed during the night.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, why do they say it's bad checking your phone though? Because I feel like that's the first thing I need to know is like who messaged me, who called me. Maybe my coach is, Matt usually tells me, certain updates in training or something. So
my wife wakes up and sits in like half lotus and breathes.
Like someone, a healthy person would.
Yeah, like a monk. Yeah, and she closes her eyes.
For how long?
I don't know.
Like you tell her good morning and she's like up and in meditation.
I don't know, but I talk to her when she's in that state too. Obviously, she doesn't talk back, but I'll say stuff to her like, "Hey, I'm gonna go do the podcast. I'll be back in an hour." Or, "Hey, don't forget if you get in the car." What'd you say?
You just hear her deep breaths.
Yeah, totally. Or I'll be like, "Hey," like she just woke up, and I'll be like, "Hey, just so you know, the Forerunner's out of gas. So if you go somewhere, stop at the gas station first," or you know what I mean. I don't ever expect her to talk back, but just like.
Why is that such a dad? That's such a first thing in the morning. Something about the car, something about the
Yes.
My dad used to knock at my door at like 6 in the morning or whenever he would leave for work. And he would just like knock really loud and, Viruse, I'm leaving. Make sure you change the oil in your car.
Oh, what a good dude.
6 in the morning. It's such a great.
Hey, look at that setup behind you over your shoulder on the left. 2 external monitors, an iPad, and a laptop. Look at that shit.
Look at that.
What's
not my desk.
Yeah, what's going on over there? That's like my desk. That's like a serious podcast setup over there. What's going on over there?
That's my fiance's work from home. We ended up getting that desk $80 from Aldi's, and if you touch it in like just with your finger, it like shifts around. But he has 3 monitors up there. He's a CPA. So
So
he's
spreadsheets
senior
and
manager
shit.
at his firm. spreadsheets, documents, lots of meetings, lots of phone calls, lots of everything. So monitors to get the job done.
Barry
that
McCall,
does work
she
great.
has a fiance with a sad face.
Oh,
There
I'm
he
sorry,
is.
Barry. Oh, look, Barry's flexing in his picture and everything too.
No, that's
I'm getting-
Lucas Parker. That's Lucas Parker. That's not Barry.
I'm looking at it. I was like, Lucas Parker. Yeah, I'm married. I got engaged last year, and now we're getting married right after the games. It's been a stressful couple months.
Where are you getting married at?
Cancun, Mexico.
Oh, that's nice.
We're getting. If you've ever are looking to go to Mexico, Cancun. In Cancun, there's a Palace Resorts, and it is the most beautiful resort vacation spot I've ever been to. I've been there twice now, the last 2 years, every time we've gone. And it's an all-inclusive resort. And Moon Palace is actually on the resort. There's 3 different hotels, and it's this huge campus of all-inclusive drinks, food, entertainment. Every night is a party somewhere. And yeah, that's where we're getting married.
So let me see if this place suits me. I like a place where I can just walk around in shorts and nothing else,
Yep.
barefoot and just shorts. Okay. And the water is clean and safe. I can walk out into the water and swim.
Yes. Oh, the water in Cancun. Oh, you could see it. It's that crystal blue, clear water. Exactly what the picture show. That's actually exactly what it looks like. It's
Wow.
absolutely beautiful.
And
You do a lot
there's
of snorkeling.
and there's like bars like in the pool, like you can swim and get your swerve on.
There's those swim up bars, right? And these pools are huge. I mean, there's almost like 10 pools connected with each other at this resort.
How much is that? Is that expensive? How much is that?
No, so which is crazy. So this all-inclusive resort, at least for Al and I, last year, for a 7-day trip, all-inclusive, we paid
$2,600 each.
No, 2. $2,600 total.
Wow. And
it was like $2,665. Sorry.
And when you say all-inclusive, you could eat food and drink and all that?
24 hours, 7 days a week. You could eat literally at any time of the night. There's actually room service, and the bars are open until late, and you could drink as much as you want, eat as much as you want, and it is exactly what you pay for. You don't have to pay out of pocket, other than like maybe if you go and so you get certain amount of credits at this resort to apply to excursions, or if you want to get a massage, or if you want to do a little trip outside of the resort, certain credits.
No,
and the only
no, thank you. No.
I know.
No.
But they're fun. We went swimming with dolphins. We went to Isla Mujeres last year, actually the last 2 years, and we got to swim with dolphins and enjoy a little cruise ride to the island. But anyways, the only thing you really pay out of pocket is like service fee. You're tipping, you go to dinner or you go to the bar and you have, you give tip. So that's really the only thing you're paying out of pocket.
You might stay 2 weeks.
We're actually staying, you might. It's too good. We're staying for 10 days this time around.
Do they have a gym there? They probably have a little gym there too.
They do. They have, actually, it's called the Grand, and it's the biggest hotel on that entire resort. There's 2 more others, but at this gym, it's huge. It has like sauna, steam, all the equipment, all the bikes and machines, and a good amount of space. So I'm excited. I'll be probably working out just to like earn the drinks a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little
sweat. Plus, that's your natural state, right? Just a little. You gotta have a little sweat.
Yeah. So being with Matt, I'm known to like love long, sweaty, EMOMs, aerobic, everything. And that's actually what I don't do anymore. So I'll be taking advantage of a long, like a power hour. Don't stop moving for every day when I'm there. And I got to make sure I fit into my wedding dress. I got to make sure I'm not too chunky, fluffy.
Will you fly straight from Madison to there?
Almost. And so we're gonna go from Madison. We're gonna come back here and then we'll get back here on Monday, sometime in the afternoon, and then the next morning we have to leave at like 3 a.m.
Oh shit!
to go to Miami, and we fly to Miami.
Wow. Oh god,
Yeah.
it's gonna be so nice when you get there and you can just be like.
And take a breath. That's great. I feel like from the time we get to Madison to the time we leave, I feel like I won't be able to like relax yet until all is done.
Fee, you're you're in Naples now?
Mm-hmm. I moved to Naples here in November. I've been here since I actually my sister got married and 2 days later we moved. We left. And we've been here since November from Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you came there to Naples with your fiance. What did you say his name was again? Matt?
Alex.
Sorry, Alex.
Yeah.
You came with Alex.
Matt and Al look like cousins a little bit.
Yeah, I get a DeChico vibe, Matt Torres vibe from your husband a little bit. Like they make, like, do you know who that is? Angelo DeChico?
Oh yeah, Angelo.
Yeah,
yes.
give a little Angelo DeChico, Matt Torres.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because Al's Italian, DeChico is very Italian.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they're both like dark beard. Let the pictures up.
So you guys are in Cleveland, and you say, "Hey, I want to go train down there." Alex gets a waiver from his work to train offsite or to work offsite, and you guys go to Naples, and now you've been there in November, December, January, February, March, April, June. Holy shit! More than half a year.
Yeah.
And so, is that your home now? Do you think? What did you do with your apartment in Cleveland or your house in Cleveland? Did you ditch it?
Well, actually, no. Actually, because ever since being in Cleveland, I had always lived with my parents.
Okay.
I was always at home.
That's nice.
I was working. I was safe. Well, honestly, it was really nice because my parents are very. I'm so lucky with my parents. They're the kind of parents, very old fashioned, but also in a way where, when my mom growing up and my dad was younger growing up, they also came from a household where it's like they stay at the parents' house as long as they can until they maybe find a wife or find a husband.
Old school Iranian, born in Iran father, and then old school Mexican mom born in Mexico, right? You have like.
Yeah. Well, my dad wasn't born in Iran. His parents came from Iran, made it to the States, and started a new life here.
Okay.
Firstborn. He's very Iranian. My dad has like this big mustache, crazy. He looks like Albert Einstein a little bit, but still very traditional family. Very, so yeah, anyway, so I left and you could only imagine, I'm 28 now and my dad was
shit. Oh shit.
He looks like Albert Einstein. I tell him he's
What's
Albert
your dad
Einstein.
do for a living?
He's a neurologist.
Oh yeah, he looks smart as shit. Wow. What is that? Is that Cisco also eats at the same breakfast place your dad eats at? Is that Cisco over there? Who's that on the wall over there?
In the background?
Yeah.
I have no idea. He's a wall of fame of so many different celebrities.
Oh my God, your dad looks just a classic Iranian fucking Berkeley dude. He looks like a professor at UC Berkeley. Holy shit.
He actually, he is a smart man. I mean, he studied mathematics and chemistry when he was in college, and he was a math tutor for his friends, and eventually wanting to pursue mathematics to pursuing medicine. And yeah, and he met my mom in Mexico. So
I have those same headphones, I think. God, I'm embarrassed. That could be me.
He has the Bluetooth headphones that wrap around. He has those headphones on at all times. Like every morning he rushes out of the house at some point, forgetting his headphone or his Bluetooth, and so yeah, that's my papi. I call him papi. So that's what I call my dad, papi.
And so you lived at home. So when you left, do you still have a room there at that house, Fee?
I do. Every time I go back to visit home, my bedroom is actually very very college. Like there is this like a very sheet that covers one wall, and it has a sun. And then all my like everything that I had in college.
I think it's called a
like,
tapestry. You were a hippie?
Tapestry, yes.
Yeah. I had tapestries in my
that
hippie
was-
room.
Everyone in college, I remember, had a tapestry, and so I wanted one. And anyways, that's still there. Like I graduated from John Carroll University in 2016, and I still have and I have my wall pictures, board, like the mess of my room is still pretty much there, and they leave it for me to come home to. I just visited not too long ago.
Well said, Bernie. He looks like the Persian Mark Twain. I nailed it. Yeah, exactly.
Persian Mark Twain. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. You'll make him feel good.
Yeah. And so you go down there, and do you think Naples is going to be your home now? That's a long time you've been there.
Well, I mean, the last time we chatted, I was training out of CrossFit Mentality, and
with Scotty, with Scott Panchik.
Yeah, with Scott Panchik. He owns the affiliate Mentality, and I actually always thought I would never leave home. Like I always thought that I was the kind of person that would never leave home. I'll never leave my affiliate. I'll never leave, this bubble that I've always known and loved. And ever since but at the time I didn't have a coach. So at the time I really just trained with Scott, but I didn't have training camp, anything like that. And so until I got connected with Matt, my life completely pivoted and the direction in the sport changed. And last year I got the opportunity to come down here, and he was like, you could come down here and we are going to get you to the games, and we're going to bring you along, and you're going to be training with some of the best.
He says that to you? We're going to get you to the games?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's pretty ballsy. That shit's hard.
That is it's taking me forever to get back. But yeah, he believed in me and invested in me, and just like really saw something even before I was able to truly show and get back. I think the first couple I was there in 2019, and ever since then I was always missing something. Very sure and confident that he had the secret sauce to getting me there, and sure enough, we got to do it this year.
Fee, what's the
lot
first
of
year?
Help, a lot of
what's
changes.
the first year you did CrossFit?
Tried CrossFit.
What year?
I walked into an affiliate in 2013, technically. Yeah, I walked into an affiliate in 2013, and I think my first open was like 2014.
So 2013, you walk into an affiliate. 2019, you go to your first games. 2020, 2021, and 2022, you tried to go to the games and don't make it. In 2023, you're back.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It feels like
That's
I've
10
been
years.
saying
That's
this
10
a lot.
years. You're at your 10-year anniversary of CrossFit.
Yeah, technically. That's right. That's crazy. From the first time I started. It's crazy to think that there's been people competing at the games for 10 years. More lighting, Cole Sager and Katrin and Noah Olson and so many others. I've been doing it for 10 years. I can't imagine even going to the games for 10 years.
Was 2019 the year they had the national champions?
Mm-hmm. Yes, like a roster of 170 people almost.
Yeah.
Or something ridiculous. And yeah, that was that year. And then I finished 24th, I believe. That was, yeah.
So, you train with a pretty motley crew. It's a pretty trippy group of people.
Yeah. You got all your best friends there too.
Yeah, all my best friends. Yeah, it's a crew there. Danielle Brandon, a weirdo. Yeah. Down Pepper, weirdo. Emma Carey, super weirdo. James Sprague, fucking beyond weird, different planet. And then the sweet little Iranian Mexican girl.
You couldn't ask for a more diverse group of people.
Yeah, what a
Truly.
wild group. How do you who do you have someone there that you kind of glom to more than the others?
I actually, well, so Emma and I train together in the same, you know, her and I were a small party of two in the mornings. And then Dallin, Danielle, and James train right after us. And Matt to be able to like put his attention in that way when he breaks us up and he pairs us up together, we work very well. But Danielle and I get along so well. We're the oldest one. I'm the oldest one, I guess, out of the whole crew. And
How old are
she's
you?
just a year younger than me. 28.
Okay. Wow, that's the oldest one. Jeez. Yeah, you're right. Because I think of James and Emma as like kids.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of forget that. I honestly forget that I'm 28 when I'm around them because I then eventually like I feel like we're all just the same age. Like I want to feel like a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. But yeah, most of them are literally 20, 21, and Emma's 19. But Danielle and I connect very well inside and outside of the gym. And we have a great friendship and we'll hang out outside. We'll go to the beach, we'll go get our nails done, we'll go to the mall, and it's just cool to have, my girl here and someone I connect with. But also I connect with Emma so well. Like we get along. She's like a little sister to me. Like life and school and what we love outside the sport and just adversity and just like everything. Like we've opened up and we've shared tears and joy and all of that, all the emotions in the gym. So we connect super well. And Dallin and James are they're completely different opposite people, but they're so fun to train with and be around, and a fun crew. Every day is always something.
Is it a trip to be around Emma? Because it's like you're kind of looking at a giant sequoia, like that made it past its when you plant a plant in the ground by a seed and there's like a period where like, fuck, are the snails gonna get it? Is someone gonna step on it? Like
Yeah.
she made it past
then,
all that. And now it's like, oh shit, this is a rooted powerhouse, but it's still a baby. Or is it a trip being with her? Like you must have seen growth in her in the last 6 months, right? Like just like, what the fuck is going on here?
I see. It's cool to be able to train with each other because I feel like she makes me better in so many ways, and hopefully I make her better in so many different ways. It's cool because now you get kind of the young athlete, but who is just an absolute superstar in the sport, growing at rapid rates, right?
Rapid rates. It must be insane.
Yeah. And it's crazy. And I get to push that and witness that, but also it's not perfect and it's not pretty and it's not, I think everyone outside looking what she posts and, sees her success and they don't realize how much, she goes through, and everybody goes through, like behind the scenes and in training. Like same with Danielle and Dallin and James. They're incredible people and athletes, and you see the end result maybe at the semifinal this year and at the games, their successes, but you don't really see the down guys on Instagram. But yeah, it's incredible. I feel very honored. I only have maybe 3 to 5 more years. I would love to keep competing 5 more years, and Emma is just like she could compete for another 15 years if she wanted to. So I'm kind of at more towards the end of my spectrum and she's at the beginning, and I'm excited for her. Very excited. Almost a proud older sister is what I feel like.
So what I'm hearing you say is like every single person there went to war, like to get to where they're at. Like you don't look at any of those people and be like, oh, they had it easy. You're like, fuck, Emma had it hard. Fuck, no. James worked so hard. Oh my God, Danielle, I can't. All of you guys it's hard.
It's hard. I think I always wish that there was a way to truly highlight athlete stories where you see more of, the adversity and the hardships and like I've cried in so many training sessions and like broken down and, feel like I'm not progressing or feel like I'm not great or good enough. And, but then you get a moment like where it's like, oh, she made it. But there's so much that went into it. And same with Danielle and Emma and everybody. Like, training is so hard, and Matt is the glue that keeps us together and maybe more sane. But we got each other. And so even though we train in separate groups and we're all individual athletes, in some way, shape, or form, keep each other strong. And I'm excited to be able to go to the games and feel like I'm a part of a big team versus going as an individual like I'm doing this alone. So that's going to be cool to see how we come together.
Why do you think Matt took you on? I'm guessing that there's limited space too.
Yeah.
What do you think he saw in Fee Saghafi? He's like, oh yeah, I want this one.
You know what? I would be interested to hear his response because a couple years ago, actually, so I first met Matt. My guy there, Coach Matt.
I know, that's a great picture.
I first met him. So this was actually funny. This was back in 2021. So after COVID year, games finally got back to Madison in 2021. I was coaching her. Her name is Molly Chacon, and she qualified to the games out of CrossFit Mentality. At the time, she was 16.
That's a great name, Chacon.
Yeah, Chacon.
Yeah.
Very athletic. But I was there as her coach, so I was there for her that entire week, and I ended up going to Big Dane CrossFit. GoWatt is having events there again. But anyway, so I see Emma and Matt. Matt has no idea who I am. Emma probably has no idea who I am. But anyways, I walk up to them and I congratulate Emma and I'm cheering for her, and I introduce myself to Matt. And hi, my name is Fee. I wish congratulations and best of luck. I stick my hand out. I give him a good handshake. And that was the first time. And then later that summer, Cooper got me connected with Matt because I was kind of talking to different coaches and deciding
because Cooper was your agent.
Yeah, Coop's my agent. Cooper Marsh from Lab Management. He actually manages all of us. Dallin, DB, Emma, and myself.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
James too?
No, James is managed by his agent. His name's Benji.
Okay. That's the blonde-haired guy.
Yes, big tall guy,
okay.
Glasses. And so anyway, so that was my first time connecting with Matt. And then so soon after, probably like a month or so, I got connected with Matt. My first meeting with Matt, I think I realized this is who I want to coach me, because we hop on the phone and he knew every statistic of my open and kind of semifinals, and he knew my strengths, he knew my weaknesses, talked to me about his vision for how he sees me progressing and as an athlete and in what direction he'd like me to go. And this is the very first meeting. I had to never truly chatted with him. And he did his homework, and the first thing he said was, I see you as a professional athlete and I want to take you on because so that I could pretty much help you tap into. And he had said along the lines of, you haven't tapped into what I know you are truly capable of, and I want to help you get there. And that was the start of it.
It's interesting. There's this discussion that I've been having with this group of people for, I don't know, it's been going on for 2 years, I feel like, but the difference between taking on athletes. I mean, you did make the games in 2019. You have a lot of promise. How tall are you, Fee?
5'1".
5'1". For someone to take you on, it's not like they're like you could take on a kid. Like if you see a mom and dad and the mom is 6'1" and the dad's 7 foot tall and the kid's 4 years old, you're like, yep, I'll turn this fucker into a basketball player.
Yeah, like you already know the genetics are there.
But let's face it, you are well, I mean, your dad's Iranian, but your mom's Mexican. That's a very small indigenous people down there. Mexicans are basically Native Americans. They're fucking midgets. They're pygmies. And then you got that, and then you're older, and you've already probably built all the bad habits. Oh, your mom's pretty. Wow. Oh my goodness.
My
Look at your
mom's
mom.
beautiful. Look at my mama.
Your
My
dad's
dad, he still had
Dude,
that
we gotta work on your
mustache.
dad's hair. He went from a messed up hair to fucking a fucked up haircut. Holy shit. Did my mom cut his hair? That's the haircut I had when I was 7.
I didn't even realize he had that cut. Oh,
What the
Dad.
fuck is going on? Caleb, do you hate Fee? What are you doing to her? Jesus, rhyming.
Hey.
Your dad dresses just like me. I always for 10 years I always had that those headphones on, and I always wear a zip up sweater, always, like some just shitty.
Oh my God.
Your dad dresses just like me. I have better hair.
Yeah, sometimes we try to help my dad with some fashion, and I'll get him, maybe some clothes, some new shoes, and sometimes we'll try to help him out. But he's truly like, so a couple years ago, I wish I could pull it. Someone took a picture of him at Rogue Invitational the first year. It was 2019 in Columbus, and he's like hanging on the fence with pens on his like t-shirt and his Bluetooth, and he had a hat, like a Hawaiian cap, and then like his shirt is tucked into his like swishy sweatpants. The best picture ever. It was just like, that is Dad. That's Papi.
So something's wrong with Matt Torres. He got Danielle Brandon, who could fucking, like, no one's gonna be surprised if she ends up in fucking jail tomorrow. James Sprague is way too fucking big. It's like he got a giraffe as a and Emma Carey's way too soft spoken. The only kind of like, I don't know, good piece of granite he got is Dallin Pepper. The rest of you guys are, I don't know. I'm just trying to think he sees Fee Saghafi. Look at this little Mexican girl. Yeah, I could take her to the game. Well, we got to hear what he saw in you. It's crazy.
I feel, next time you have him on the show, you gotta ask, like, I'd love to hear that from him. I mean, he definitely saw some potential, and I think it was too, because at the time that I had met with him,
and let's face it, Fee, it's impossible to get to the games. Let's face it. So it's not like he's like, I could turn Fee Saghafi into a good lawyer, or I could turn Fee Saghafi into I don't know, like a good mom, or I could teach Fee Saghafi how to become a fashion designer. The fucking games.
It's hard. It is.
Yeah.
What is it, like 0.1% of, I guess, the entirety of people that do CrossFit? That's what you see at the games.
It's got to be less than that, way less than that. It's like 0.0000. It's 40 people. Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah, that's true. At the time, though, so I guess when I met with him, so I had gotten 24th at the games in 2019, but at that point, it was almost like so irrelevant. It's like so much time passes that, I mean, every year is a new slate. So you definitely, in the sport, whether you make it to the games or not, the next year, what you've done in the past, a new season starts, because all that matters is how you're performing in that moment, in that season.
Right.
At least in my eyes. And so anyway, so at the time that I was talking to him, every year before that, it was like, I was almost, so in 2020, when COVID, everything changed everywhere, obviously. But I got 4th at a sanctional. That was still kind of the year of sanctionals. And Mayhem ended up at CrossFit Mayhem. They put on a sanctional, and Danielle was there, Tia was there, Christy Aramo was there, so many other athletes. And anyways, I got 4th there. So that was technically like my ticket back. And everything got rearranged, and so only the top individuals in the open, maybe I think top 20 or top 30 individuals in the open, ended up going to the games, or online games, right? So anyway, so I had gotten 4th that year, and then the following year I got, 6th or 7th? No, I got 7th, I think, at the MAC. So, and then, so years prior, it wasn't like I was off the radar. And I think that was another piece that he saw, like kind of just scratching at the door and knocking just ever so slightly. And so I think there was always something there that he saw.
Extra sloppy. Fee is a good dude. Good luck this year. I'll be rooting for you.
Who is the extra slop?
Hey,
what do you think his name is?
I don't know. This is a cantankerous group.
Thank you.
Fee, and you had never had a coach in 10 years. You had never had like a coach.
No, and
Matt's your first one.
Matt's my first coach, and it was truly like when I was starting to train with Scott, it was kind of just I think I went into the sport very OG CrossFit. So if anyone recognizes that, oh my gosh, Barkley's coming over because she
Hi,
wants to say
Barkley.
hi.
Hi. You brought Barkley from Cleveland?
No, this is Matt's dog. He's living in my apartment until his apartment decides to allow for dogs.
Oh. God,
But,
you guys really are like a family. Taking someone's dog is intimate. That's some intimate shit.
Yeah. He sees her almost every day though. So I know. She feels like she's like, I'm aunt. I call myself Auntie Fee. But anyways,
first
yeah,
coach.
I was very I was OG CrossFit. Like OG CrossFit. Do you remember those days where it's like you just do a bunch of workouts?
Yeah.
Or maybe, when Rich was, at the peak of his career and on the podium, and you would get a little insight on what his day looked like. It was just tons of amazing long CrossFit workouts. And so at the time, that's what I thought is what you needed to qualify for the games naturally. And Scott is also very much known to he has this, I say this, and I'll say it to his face too, and I think he knows it. He has an obsession with working out and volume and grind and loves to hurt. And that's what I got into. And once I started to qualify for higher level competitions, I started to, follow what Scott was doing. So for those years, the programming that I did was Scott's, what Scott was doing for that day. And, maybe I tweaked volume and some adjustments, but for the most part, I was doing what Scott was doing. And the things that Scott were doing were the things that he needed to get himself to the games and perform at his highest level. And I was just kind of along for the ride. And I got incredible fitness, obviously, and that's why I think what I'm known for, CrossFit style workouts, like my wheelhouse workouts or movements are very OG CrossFit style. And if you kind of look at my stats, I guess, and the workouts that I do very well in versus not very well in, you'll kind of see that trend. And I think it's because I did that for so long. And then I started to work with Matt, and he took everything that I love, he threw it at the door and was like, we are going to work on your strength and your power, and we're not going to do 3-4 metcons a day, and you're not going to be lifting tired after a long endurance workout. And actually, when I first started working with him, I even asked, I was like, are you sure I can't do an extra metcon or just one more little sweat session thing? He's like, no, don't do anything extra. Don't do more volume. Don't do another round of anything. Just follow what I'm giving you. And that was hard.
Yeah, trusting him was hard. Changing was hard.
Yeah, the change, almost like the feeling that I wasn't doing enough working out was hard, because that's all you ever see at the games, right? That's all you have of competition. It's just metcons and events, and I didn't realize what it actually takes to make it to the games is truly honing in on number one, your fundamentals, number two, your foundation, right? And the foundation to movement is, your strength in that movement. And it's something, the best coaches talk about, and strength takes a long time, and it takes years and years and years to build. So you see the girls that have, extremely heavy lifts and are the top of those events. It takes many, many, many years to build up to that. And for me, all I ever known was CrossFit workouts and Metcons and aerobic conditioning, maybe some lifting after. But then I can't take advantage of truly building that strength when I've exhausted everything. So even though I incorporated lifting in my training, it wasn't in a way that actually made me a stronger athlete. So yeah, going with Matt, there's a lot of strength sessions, and even like this year, I feel the progress, but it's like this much progress because it's strength, and it's something that, I don't know, it's just taken me.
And it got you to the games.
Yep, that was actually one of my favorite stories of the semifinal weekend. I don't know I don't think I shared it. So my favorite of my weekend actually wasn't necessarily qualifying. So every year I've ever competed in any competition, it's always been the strength events that have just kept me out of a contending spot. Every year at the MAC, at Granite Games, even and off-season competitions, I always place in a very bottom spot, and it's very hard to become a 5 spot or top, whatever. This year was the first year that we were doing the snatch event. It was, part of the event was a 800-meter run into a 1RM snatch. And we had gone through every single event, and I had kind of gone through what I'm going to hit, the 3 lifts that I wanted to hit. Something in me in the last 10 seconds of window of time that I had to make my last lift, I originally had 180 on the bar, and I slept on 2.5s and turned it into 185 bar and snatched it overhead. And by the end of the weekend, I didn't perform the best on Sunday, but the 180 actually gave me enough buffer and enough points to make it to the games. And it was the first time that a heavy barbell actually saved my ticket to qualifying. And I had every other year, it's always been the thing that has kept me out. So that was a huge moment for me. I'm very, very proud of that. And
Fee, go back to when
it just showed me that it's in there.
Tell me, this is crazy. Look at these points: 409, 398, 397, 395, 386. Yeah, by the skin of your teeth.
Close.
So tell me about what happened. So that's the workout where you had to do. You had to run first?
Yeah, it was an 800-meter run into a 1RM 6-minute window to do it. So it was a 6-minute window. 800-meter run took 4 minutes. It was a very light jog, pretty much. At least for me it was, because I had to save it for the snatch. So yeah, and then so the remaining time you had to have a max lift in there.
And so tell me, so how many lifts did you do?
I did 3. So I did, I opened up at 165, which is kind of crazy. I was nervous because I had a couple misses at 165 in the warm-up area. So naturally I was immediately already nervous for the event because I'm already missing at my opening weight. But anyways, I hit 165 on the floor, hit it solid. I go up to 175, which was the plan, hit that. And then Matt and Dom, Coach Dom, also, he was there. We had talked about hitting 180, and 180, if we hit 180, it's an amazing day. If we stay with 175, we're happy with 175 because that's very close to my max. And Coach Dom, before going onto the floor, he realized that I was for this event. And
he realized what? He realized
I was nervous. He just saw something in me that was just not right. That was not, I didn't have the same excitement that I usually have before events, because this is a very nervous, any lifting event is usually something that gives me some extra butterflies. And so anyways, he comes up to me maybe 2 minutes before we go on to, I don't care. Nothing else matters other than when you step up to every single barbell and you rip it off the floor, you got to rip it knowing that this is your ticket to the games. He said this to me, I kid you not, right before we took the floor. He goes, every time you get your hands on, just know that this is your CrossFit Games ticket. And trust yourself. It's in there. It's in you. And, he was like, hey, I got this. And I look at the
Dom
clock.
said this to you? That's genius. Smart
Genius. Man. Like that's all I needed to hear. I didn't hear like, you got it and it's okay and do your best. Like I wanted to, run my
even more pressure on you.
wall.
He saw you're stressed out. Instead of taking pressure off of you, he put more pressure on you. What a calculated move.
He gave me the right kind. It was just enough where, it's hard to, I guess I have a tendency to overthink a lot, especially when it comes to heavy lifts. And I get very in my head. And sometimes you just gotta like think of nothing else other than just like ripping it off the floor. And especially with how much we do these lifts in training. But anyway, I hit the 175. I'm putting on 180. I take a look at the clock and I got about 15 seconds to make this lift. And I'm just like, screw it. Like I just put on the 2.5s and I turned it into 185.
Why?
Something in me was the reason was because I had never taken that risk in competition. Every time I lift, I've always kept it very safe and very conservative. And I was just like, I'll never know if I could hit this lift if I don't give myself a chance. And I did it. And it was freaking scary because you're feeling this bar and 185 is so heavy. Like even just a couple inches off, you're like, oh, this is heavy. And you kind of and I'm so happy that I did. That was the first moment I've ever felt that brave, I guess, to go for it. And if I missed, at least I went for it. But it was always that moment of like, but what if I make it? And I think that was the thing that kept me going. And
what if I
didn't back down from that. What if I make it? Yeah. But what if I succeed? And that's what I was saying to myself. And, I literally by that point, I had 5 seconds. So I didn't have, the extra time to set up and get my hands all good. So it was just kind of grab and go. Dive bomb under the bar.
So Sophie, a bunch of questions here. If you 175, let's say you've missed that lift, you wouldn't be going to the games?
Oh yeah, if I hit 175, I would have been going. If I would have hit 180, if I would have had done what we had planned, I also would have been going in.
Oh shit. So if you would have missed the lift, you wouldn't have gone to the games. If you wouldn't have had this, like, okay, I'm going to go 185. Okay, so when you put the 2.5s on, do you look over at Dom or at Torres, or you don't even look at them? I wonder if they would have been like.
Yeah, no, I didn't even I had no idea where they were. I just knew that I could hear Al. Like I could hear my fiance and the fence behind me. I could just hear his voice. And every lift I could hear him scream, hype me up. And I'm just putting the plates on and I look at my plates and I look at the 180 weight and I have this green and I'm just like okay, here we go. And I had no idea where my coaches were at.
Was I don't sense this from you, but I want to ask it anyway. Was any part of it like you felt pressure from the crowd that 180 wasn't enough? Was there any ego in it or no?
No.
Yeah.
And
I don't sense that from you at all. Not even in the tiniest bit. I just wanted to check.
No.
Okay.
I've never been.
You weren't like, fuck it, there's all these eyes on me, I got to do 185. It wasn't like that.
No, I didn't even feel the pressure from. I didn't even feel pressure from the crowd. I just felt the hype. Have you ever been when you're in such a flow state, just going and you're not feeling, you can't really hear the music. You can't really see exactly what's going around you other than just energy, and you're just going.
And when Shelby Neal told me she was black on the podcast the other day, I went into a flow state. I was like, this is amazing. It was like I had uncovered fucking the truth about life.
Oh God.
Yeah. And she's a redheaded girl with blue eyes and she told me she's black. I was like, God, I love this planet. God, I love human beings.
In what way?
Anyway, we'll come back. But I just love her. I just love that. Yeah. To put me into it was the last time I've been in a flow state. It was great. Okay.
If she can make you black out, then that's a big deal.
So you hit it, you stand up, and then what do Dom and Matt say to you when you come over? Do they check your temperature? Or are they like, are you okay? What's wrong with you? You lost your mind?
It's funny. It's actually Dom was so hyped. Matt didn't see my lift. He didn't see me hit 185 because he was getting pulled in so many different directions because he also was out on the floor. Danielle was out on the floor. I was out on the floor, and I think Emma maybe had gone for her last. So he was like kind of in the middle of just trying to watch everybody, and we've been all in the same heat all weekend. So, and I mean, when you lift a barbell, it takes about 2-3 seconds from start to finish. So it just happened to be the lift that so he didn't know I hit 185. He just knew that I made my last lift. So he was excited thinking that, oh, she got, 180. It's exactly what we wanted for execution. Job well done. But Dom had seen my lift. And actually Dallin, I love Dallin. He actually stayed to watch that event. And he was like, he watched it and it was cool. So I finished the event and it was just like, I felt like the first time I felt strong.
But you
couldn't get too hyped because we had to do the 8 snatches into an 800-meter sprint. So it was like, I think I gave myself like a little, yay, I made it. And then I had to focus on the next thing.
I don't know. It's like what a growth moment to make a decision like that. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a moment like that in my life. I mean, like there's things that just happen to you in life like that you don't have a choice, like puberty, like just coming. But this was like you made the decision to like put on your big boy pants, and it's crazy.
That's something that I think I had always missed too. Like just through the years of competing, I've always been comfortable and I've always wanted to do things that I know I could do or hit numbers that I know I could hit, like that I've done. And I think failing in front of a crowd or failing to the point where, maybe you don't maybe that's the one thing that keeps you out was always scary because I think this sport has also become my career. And, not making it to the games, I feel like is, it feels like I'm not doing what I am set out to accomplish and become the best athlete that I can and be on that floor. And so, so part of that, like there's so much fear that goes into sometimes making those decisions as an athlete, where if I fail, I don't, I'm not doing my job. If I make it, amazing, but then you just never know in a sport like this or in anything. But I think what has helped me last 6-7 months is coming down here to Naples and being around the training camp, which before I was kind of starting to train alone for a long time. For a year I was training by myself, always in my head, only really it's just me, myself and the clock and myself and my camera. And I think being around Dallin and Emma and Danielle, they all have, an edge to them. And I think that has helped me evolve a little bit and just going for it and the grittiness that they all have. And I've definitely learned a little bit from each one. And especially I get to train with Emma the most. And anyone that, has watched Emma Carey compete, she's very soft-spoken herself, but when she competes and just trains, she's an animal. She is willing to go to dark, dark places, and she's willing to fail, to see a sliver of success and lift after lift. She's willing to hit a lift 10 times until the 11th one she makes it. But and that's, I think, a very strong training camp and a coach.
What an awesome group you're with. Yeah. Looking from the outside, I think everyone's like so enamored by the group, the Brute group, led by Dom and Torres, and just all you guys. When people see the pictures of all you guys together, or like when the Buttery Bros went down there, it's really cool. You guys are cool as shit. Sevan's dog, is Barclay single?
Is he? Oh, Barclay, she's a girl.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't even know if Sevan's dog is a boy or a girl.
Wait, can I show you what so this is what she does.
I think Sevan's dog is gay, so it's maybe it's not a good match. Oh my
Hi,
goodness.
Barkley. She's a princess.
God,
Yeah.
you're a good man. You let the dog sleep on your couch and everything.
I get yelled at when she sleeps on the bed because I love when she comes up on the bed, just like, I think she deserves a nice bed. And I actually let her sleep on the bed this morning when my fiance went to the airport just for a couple minutes. She's not allowed on the bed, but
Where's he going? Who was he picking someone up from the airport? Where's he going?
His brother came to visit, and he went to go drop him off. See, if you aren't failing, you aren't growing. Keep crushing. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Heck yeah. Yes. That's exactly it. And that's exactly what I want to bring to the games, too. Like, at the games, I feel like I'm a rookie again, and there's nothing to lose, and I want to have more of those moments. That's my goal.
Sevan's dog, I hump them all. Oh, so you don't even care. Boy or girl, that's fine. All right. Good dog.
What's your dog? What's that picture? What kind of dog do you have?
That's not my dog. I'm telling you, the chat is it's a weird look at we got a great glass
you just
in here.
said
I know, it's just a weird look at this person. Anita Dick in me. Fee is awesome.
Oh my god. Thank you,
Very
Anita.
inappropropriate. It's an inappropriate.
I'm just
Look at
calling
this.
her Anita.
Look at this. Enormous tits. This is the best show ever.
Wait, but
look at this. Look at this. Someone being mean to you. I love this comment. Fee reminds me of my mom before she got social media. I know. Isn't Fee so wholesome? I know. Fee is
that what that means?
That's how I take it.
Oh my gosh. Before social media.
Hey, I'll
take it as a compliment.
I take it as a compliment. Hey, thanks for coming on. You're a wonderful human being. You're so easy, man. I'm gonna put you in. I have this pantheon of people I have on the show that are like the easiest. You rank in the easiest ever. You're so easy.
I really? Heck
yeah, you're a great guest.
Well, you know, two years ago you said you would have me on sooner, and I had to wait 2 years to get a message. So.
Oh, good. I hope it was a wait. Good. Worth the wait.
Worth the wait. Call. Yeah. Now you have my. I'll FaceTime in. Not every now and then. Thank you, Sevan. Thanks for having me.
You're awesome. Okay, say hi to Al. I look forward to seeing you at the games.
Heck yeah, I can't wait. Thank you.
Okay. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Dude, that was an easier morning than I thought.
She's awesome.
Dude, she's so easy. She carried the show.
Big time.
Yeah.
There's some really good pictures of her dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That one with the bowl cut's crazy. Let me see this. Wow. Oh, that's wow. So he's got a ton of different looks.
Yeah. It's awesome. He's great.
What a unique cast of characters they got over there, Brute. What a trip.
It's like the Island of Misfit Toys almost.
Vaccine.
Yesterday, I was at the grocery store, and I was grabbing bananas, and my wife was handing me some onions, and neither of them had a plastic bag in them. So she just was like handing me them without like having bagged them. And I was like, whatever. Usually I just throw them in the cart and all that. And this like old black woman comes up to me and like just starts handing me plastic bags. And I was like, oh, I'm okay. Like, it's okay. No worries. She goes, no, you're going to use them. It's like, okay, fine. And then as I'm doing that, this like.
Did she charge you for them?
No, it was just some like random like grandma.
Oh, okay.
Like, just gave me like, not like, it's like the ones that they give you or the ones that you can like rip off of the.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Isn't it funny? Those ones are free, but the ones when you check out cost money. Anyway, go on. Yes.
Yeah.
We live in an idiot world.
But she had like walked off, grabbed like a whole handful of them, and then like handed me 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's okay, no worries. And she goes, no, you're gonna take them. I don't want people touching my shit, whatever. I was like, okay, fine, I'll appease the old black woman. As this is happening, this like just raggedy ass dude is walking like, but there's maybe like a body width space between me and this woman and our carts.
Yeah.
And this guy just like barrels through, just starts like yelling, like, I'm gonna fucking fight somebody. And then I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm like just trying to bag my bananas here. But and he's just like yelling that he's gonna fight somebody today. And we saw him out in the parking lot. He had like ripped his shirt off and started like doing fucking kung fu moves in the parking lot.
Meth?
Absolutely meth. It was awesome.
What city do you live in?
I live in Hampton, Virginia. It's like the shitty part. Like Virginia Beach is really nice, and then you go north and it's the shitty part. It's sketchy.
All right. 2-hour show. There'll be no raggedy ass people fighting on this show. There'll be no forced of bagging bananas.
Show tonight though.
Say that again.
Show tonight though.
Oh, with J.R. Howell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a little nervous for the show.
Me too.
The notes are fucking outrageous.
It's in depth.
In depth. Oh yeah, we're releasing all the games workouts tonight.
Yep. If you want to find out.
No one even knows. We know workouts that fucking even Adrian and Dave don't know.
Exactly.
Probably some games from next year are going to get released tonight too.
Probably. Might even see some at the Rogue Invitational or something.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Okay, 6:30. I'm glad you told me that too. I was thinking about maybe going to the beach just now and getting a cocktail, but that's good. I won't do that. Even though that show is not for another.
Just slam a coffee beforehand. You're good.
9 hours. I want to treat myself to something. I feel like I deserve something. I'm not sure what I should have. I was going to get like, what?
Busy.
Busy what?
You've been busy.
Yeah. I want to give myself like a treat. I don't know what. I was going to give myself like a alcoholic kombucha or something and walk on the beach with my kids. Buy a new camera.
There you go.
Thinking of something a little more affordable.
Like a Snickers at the gas station.
Nah. All right. Caleb, thank you. Are you coming? Are you on tonight? Oh yeah, you are. Oh yeah, because you got the notes too. All right. Good luck. Study up.
Thanks.
And we'll see you guys tonight, 6:30 p.m. It's gonna be a big show. J.R. Howell, Nostradamus Howell will be on the show, and we'll be talking about predictions for the games. All right. Bye-bye.